Welcome to the Key to Growth podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you are in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Key to Growth podcast. I am your host, Jen McKee, and I have a special guest today that I'm super excited to talk about all things marketing and AI and the future and all of the crazy things happening. And also, we have the same name. So, I mean, there couldn't be anything cooler than that. So, my guest, Jennifer Bagley, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Welcome to the Jen Show.
Right, exactly.
Jen too.
We should have our own podcast, the Jen Show.
It should be the Jen Show.
We don't have enough going on. Let's have another podcast.
Let's add one more thing and see how we can squeeze it in. Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm also a podcast host as well as the CEO of CI Web Group. And I've been a speaker since I was like 19. So I do a lot of speaking presentations. And so good to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you. So I'm sure that like most people know who you are, but how long, for the people that don't, like how long have you been in the industry? How did you get into the trades industry? Tell us just a little short story for anyone that doesn't know you.
Okay, short version. I started this business in 2006. 2008, I was hired by Mitsubishi to come keynote at their Diamond Dealer Conference. Never had anything to do with the trades. I've worked with celebrities. I've worked in the financial, the medical, the real estate. I've worked in a lot of different industries as an entrepreneur with a marketing agency after leaving corporate, which just my background, I was VP of Global Supply Chain, total nerd, all about data, CRM, ERP, and everything else. That's my history. But
yeah,
the entrepreneur vein is going to force you down that at some point, no matter what. So, I mean, that was really the key. And it was so interesting because last week I got asked to come back and keynote at the Mitsubishi Diamond Dealer meeting in California. And the same people that got me in the industry, I literally was like, you guys have no idea what you did. Because now the home services space owns us.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Project.
Full circle moment. Honestly, would have been a great social media post, a little selfie with them before and after.
You are, yes. I need you in my life.
Everything is content. Okay. So we're not going to talk a whole bunch about social media, but we are going to talk about marketing because CI Web Group is a digital marketing company. So why don't you just tell us, let's start with like what CI Web Group does, because you guys do something really special in the industry. I think it's special and definitely ahead of the curve. So just try to explain it in layman's terms, I guess.
Okay. So we have always been on the digital side. If it's on paper, I'm not quite sure how it works. I don't know.
In 2006, were y'all on MySpace?
So MySpace, no, but we were building Flash websites back then.
Okay.
I don't know. You might be too young for that, but
I mean, I used to code my MySpace page, but that was like as far as that went.
Yes. Yeah. We've been through a lot of different transitions, which is interesting. So we've heavily focused on everything online, from website design and development to local marketing, search engine optimization, paid advertising, content marketing. And those are our primaries. That's the basics. It's evolved a lot, right? We've went through multiple iterations. Of course, back in 2006, we used to make these Flash websites. Google made an update, said, nope, no Flash.
Flash websites. Yep. I do know what you're talking about. I missed that word at the beginning.
Yep. And then, we used to build websites in something called tabular data, and that went away. You're not allowed to do that. And then we migrated over. We were one of the original groups of part of the WordPress community when WordPress launched. Yeah. And so we've been building WordPress websites for many, 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 many years. And, that's evolved over the last year when we saw in 2023 the release of consumer-based AI functionality. We stepped back a little bit from the home services space and went back to where we used to spend a lot of time, which was in other industries that tend to lead when it comes to technology. And so I was just on with Stephanie from Airworks, and she was like, that's why I didn't see you at a lot of conferences. I was like, nah, yeah. One, I don't need them, hand out a bunch of Chotskys and have meaningless conversations at a conference. I'm sorry. That's a whole nother thing. But the other is because I need to be able to learn. I need someone who's going to challenge us and push us and feed us information. And that's for my sweet spot. That's hard to get in this space. So I did step out and, really had to reinvent or refigure out what is everybody else doing. And they have all progressed. Like they're past WordPress. They've moved into a low code environment. They're building AI enabled websites. They were doing and I was kind of pissed at myself for not sticking to sticking to following the best of the best of the best and kind of losing our edge a little bit. So,
okay, but you did. And like what I asked Jennifer before this, but I'm going to ask it again because what is an AI enabled website? What does that even mean? And what does that look like?
Okay. So first, they are not open source platforms you get from,
like not ChatGPT.
Yeah. No, like open source, essentially like WordPress is an open source community. It's under a GPL, which is a general public license. And it means you've got developers from around the world all contributing to a code bank, plugins and themes and everything else. When you move to a low code environment built in a SaaS and you have AI enablement, what that means is there's functionality built into the website. For example, AI localization, which can take your website and the content and automatically identify the user, the visitor's computer settings, native settings. And if they speak Spanish or French, they're French Canadian, it will present the website in the native language of the visitor. Personalization.
So cool.
AI optimization is essentially what previously you would look at as a CRO or a conversion rate optimization person. They would build multiple pages, different variants, A, B, and C. They would test, they would look at it over 6 months. Now we have the ability through AI to take a website and leverage AI to create those variations, make rapid fire changes to produce a better conversion rate. So the website can transform itself, i.e. change the promotion, the tag, the heading, the title, the picture, the image, the size, the font, the color, and everything else to be able to rapidly iterate and be able to get a higher conversion without having to have a human do it. So much faster, so much better. Results are quicker. So those are just some of the elements.
That's
AI
so cool.
analytics, same thing, is when you utilize Google Analytics, you're getting a manipulated version of data. When you install AI analytics at the page level inside your website, not a third-party system trying to showcase certain things and not
make themselves look good.
Yes, you get real data that you can actually make decisions with. So AI analytics, and it's evolving so fast. I feel like these fools don't sleep at all because I'm like, okay, what's next? What's new? What did you launch?
Oh my gosh. So AI enabled websites. And I love that you took some time to go and learn that. And I think that as a business owner, no matter what your business is, it's important to not only immerse yourself in the community, but also know when you need to immerse yourself into learning again so that you continue to evolve. Because I said earlier before we got on here that Jennifer's like the Gary Vee of digital marketing in the trades. But the reason I said that is because if you don't know who Gary Vee is, he's a marketer, but he's always looking at what the next trend is. And honestly, like he's not always 100% right, but he is always testing and looking at things. And I think that's so important as a business owner and as an entrepreneur to kind of see what else is out there. So what are you seeing as far as AI, consumer behavior? Like what else are you seeing that we are headed towards in marketing?
All right, here goes. Bear with me on this one, right? There are multiple versions of AI. The majority of the population right now has, I'm going to call it the dummy version.
Right.
Where
the beginning.
you have a GPT, yes, you have a GPT license and you're using the little query thing to be able to create content or create a plan or evaluate something or review something or analyze data or upload a spreadsheet or whatever. That's version 1.
Yeah.
Back it up. Version 2 is where you don't use the paid version, the dummy version. You create your own infrastructure. And now you have a platform that allows you to access all of the large language models via API connections. So like in the last 21 days, we've used 1.8 million tokens of AI tools and our cost is $3, which is now you're working in an AI function. Expand that one more level and you have the evolution of AI in the traditional format or API connection. And you move to an agentic network, which is an agent or a sequence of agents, or even better, a swarm of agents. Agents perform functions, right? And you level up one more and now you have MCP, which is a control protocol that that gives instructions to the agents. So just like you'd build an organization,
Mhm.
right? You have your CEO and your director, and you have your orchestrators or your managers. You have your team members that are experts at different functions. AI agents can be built with this same logic where you have a director, that director has a profile, and it explains to the orchestrators what it wants to have happen. And you build an agent that is connected to tools, and that agent can perform tasks, and it becomes very fast at it, and it learns, it's like rapid fire. So what's happened is the agents now can perform tasks faster than any human. And when you
Mhm.
merge agentic networks, quantum computing, and physical devices, that's when we're going to see something entirely different. So everyone's on ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever, like go head over to GenSpark, and GenSpark has super agents built into the AI model, which allow you to I can be in my backswing on the 9 on a golf course and go, shoot, I forgot to schedule blank. And
Mhm.
I can say, hey, book me an air conditioning repair job on Friday around 2:00 with a company that specializes in Daikin Fit systems, has a maintenance program, has an extended warranty program. Make sure you can book online. I want them to have financing. Add it to my calendar and send me a text reminder an hour before the appointment.
Yeah.
And it can do all of the homework, all of the research, find the company. If they have the right technology, if they have the right content, if they've designed their infrastructure to be available to an AI agent to take care of the task, then I don't visit a website. I
Yeah.
don't be your pretty brand. I don't deal with you until you're on my porch repairing my air conditioning system. And that logic, when I was sitting on a stage and one of the contractors said, he was like, well, obviously AI is changing how we should be marketing, or it's changing a lot of how consumers are using. He was like, I use AI for everything. Shouldn't we be changing our marketing? And I had a marketer sitting right next to me that goes, don't worry about it. It's only 1% of total search. And I was like, what the Sam hell?
Right now.
In 60 days.
Yeah.
Like
That's
in
crazy.
60 days, understand velocity. We've never seen,
Exponential.
we've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
Right? We've never seen something have that much velocity. And this industry is already always, as a consumer, they adopt things faster than they do in their business to serve the very consumer like themselves who already adopted it. This is
Yeah.
worse. So as agentic or AI agents become available on your glasses,
Mhm.
like my Ray-Bans or my phone or my computer or my Nest thermostat or my wall or my coffee pot or my Google or Home or my Alexa
Right.
or whatever,
Yeah.
those physical devices already exist in everybody's homes. All it is an update. And
Yeah.
why are they going to go to Google and spend all that time doing the search when they can have a quick conversation, get her done? And that's what we need to prepare for, is
Mhm.
truly a zero-click conversion where they never saw your site, they never saw your brand, they never
Yeah.
saw anything, but the AI agent did.
Mhm.
So when you look at AI agents, they're evaluating your brand strength. Social media, you better have real content out there, a lot of it on a
Yeah.
consistent, frequent basis. Your website better be extremely fast because it's not going to wait for your slow WordPress website to load. Your
Yeah.
content better be written in the format that AI is getting queries in.
Mhm.
I mean, and they have to prepare, and they have to prepare now. If they don't, that's a problem. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
So,
underplay this.
do you think that, okay, so first of all, how much then impact is branding overall going to have on that? Like, I mean, I know it's hard to imagine like what this world actually looks like, as easy as it is, because I can see it. Like, if Alexa can do those, and even as we continue to use AI more, there's so many things that I'm like, if it could do this, it would be so much better. Like, if it
They
had
probably
this
already
full
can.
picture, right? But not my ChatGPT. Like, I'm just not using
Oh,
the right
yeah.
tool yet, like, but I can already see how this can go. And I love that then you, like, I picture it as how when you were just explaining it as like my little army of basically assistants that aren't human but can do things faster than humans, which is great. But so then, that's going to make a huge impact on brand, because then, like you said, like, it doesn't really matter how pretty your website is, because no one's actually going to see it. But it also does matter like how well it's done and how well it operates, because a robot is looking at it. So there's like different things that matter. And how, like, do we know what that is yet? And like, how does somebody start preparing for that?
That's so in an ideal situation, you would create a theory, you would identify the sequence of tests, you would test one item, determine or measure the result of the test, and then test another item, and you would make decision. I don't know if you remember the commercial. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have enough time to test that. That's too
Right.
freaking low. The whole logic logic of how you go to market and test has changed. So from a speed standpoint, this is what we have been able to tell so far is when we address framework, i.e. website, the smaller volume of code to content, the better it performs. That's one. Two, when we do not neglect prior content, most marketing agencies, when they take on a company, ourselves included, we used to do the same thing. We would take all of the content that they already had from their prior agencies, or 9 of them because they're jumpers, and we would leave that in place, make small modifications. We would add more content to it and so forth. Right now, between the Google algorithm changes, NLP, structured data, AI content, user intent, conversational search, all of these things, like all of the content on their websites has to be readdressed right now. And you've got to have some kind of careful balance between traditional search, AC repair and blank, AC installation and blank, AC maintenance and blank, heat pump installation, like that's Google stuff, and AI search, which is a conversational search.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to mesh both, and you've got to be able to be unique. So if every home service company has the same strategy, AC repair and blank, AC installation blank, AC maintenance, AC tune-up, heater installation, heater for, like, you look at all the websites, they're all freaking the same.
Yeah.
All the same. So how do you differentiate when AI won't wait for your slow website and all your code? You're not going to stand out if you're going after traditional search with all the same content. Your only way to stand out right now is you've got to be a creator. So you've got to either be providing product comparisons, product manufacturer detail reports, before and after scenarios, case studies, real content of installations, interviews, podcast content,
Like storytelling.
schematic. Yes, you
need humanization.
You have to. So that's the relationship between the AI, the technology, the business, and the agency has to change. And quite frankly, business owners need to show up, suit up, and participate. It's their business. They need to get involved. This is no longer push a button. The marketing agency can do everything for you and you don't have to participate. That's over. If you want to compete, you've got to play a part in your company's brand and positioning and information online. And quite frankly, you're the subject matter expert that has all the stories at the tips of your fingers.
Right.
That better turn into a digital asset that can be used not only in your social media space, but also it's got to be mixed into the content that's on your website that's designed for SEO and targeting NLP and structured data and AI search. Like, they got enough to do. You got to contribute. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
going to play a huge role.
So someone's listening to this, right? And first of all, a lot of this is like hard to understand, right? If you're not in this space. But the other thing is, like, what can you do right now just to get somewhat of a head start on this? Obviously reach out to an expert like CI Web Group to help you. But if you're not doing that right now, like, what can you do to start to prepare for this?
Man, like, the easy version, or like the simple version that doesn't take a lot of effort, is to start learning. Change your feed. You're being fed from a small group of experts in a small industry. That's first. And they're all saying the same thing. Expand the information feed that you get by going and doing some homework. So I just said a whole bunch of stuff that probably makes no sense. Go to YouTube, start searching, go to your TikTok channel, whatever you fancy. I don't care what it is, but go to those and start looking up the things you don't understand so that the algorithm starts picking up. You have an interest in agentic networks. You have an interest in AI enablement. You have an interest in AI search, voice search, user intent, like all of these different things. Start querying so that, I know everybody doesn't have time, but here's the reality. You got to sit on the can. Like, while you sit on the can, look at the freaking video, watch the video, start.
Yeah.
You have minutes. Find the minutes in your day to start learning about the things we're uncomfortable with.
Right.
I would say that's number one, is to just expand your education, expand your knowledge in your feed. The rest is really rip off the Band-Aid. Like, if you're not already looking at getting out of WordPress, it's a low budget solution. It's open source. It's got security issues, vulnerability issues. It's slow. It's outdated. It's not evolving. I know they threw like a Hail Mary this like 2 days ago depending on when we're watching this, This is like April right now,
In
but
April.
yes,
Yeah.
in April, they threw out a Hail Mary that said that you can now build your entire WordPress website with AI with a sequence of prompts. You can fill out a form and it'll build your whole website with you,
Wow.
which is good progress. But they're also in a class action lawsuit, have lost the majority of their major devs. And so, like, you need to address the framework that you're in.
Yeah.
You're in an unstable framework. You need to address the content, and you need to have a come to Jesus meeting with you and your team. Sit down with Jen on here, that Jen. You need to have a serious conversation about becoming a contributor to your content, to make sure that people know if I can design a website with 2 seconds in AI, well, WordPress site, and I can create images and I can create video all with AI and I can create content with AI, then how is a consumer going to know any difference between who could be fake and ripping them off versus
Right.
who's real? Like,
Right.
better make that a priority.
Yeah, for sure. So there's two things I want to bring up. The first one is that just to like give some context to this, because I think that this timeline to me is even crazy to think about. But in 2023, I was at Pantheon, and I'll tell this story till I die. Okay, it's like my claim to fame here. But and I went to a thing that Gary Vee was at, super small room, like 50 people, right? And again, bringing him up again. But the thing that he said then, and this was 2023, was that you should be spending 20 minutes a day learning a new AI something. And that was 2023. And so as new as it feels, that was already almost 2 years ago. Like it is, we are past the early adoption. Like, so no matter what, if you're not, and if you're not versed on any of it, you are behind and you will not be able to continue to succeed in your business if you don't start to learn some of it. And it does feel uncomfortable. It's those little neural pathways that just haven't connected. And so like Jennifer said, if you start forcing yourself to listen to it, even when it doesn't make sense, one day it will start to make sense and then you can figure out what to do next. So that's that story. But what I want to point out is that yesterday I saw one of my other Google friends post on social media. And so again, we're talking in April, and it was like what Google said it's looking for. So even if you're like, okay, well, this isn't happening yet, like it's fine, I can wait. Google already is prioritizing different content because everyone can go to ChatGPT and have it write a blog post. And so that's not enough anymore on your website. And so it's already, I forget how it was worded, and you probably know this because this is your thing, but like it's something about like unique content. You have to have unique
EEAT. Look up EEAT Google content requirements. That will help guide you there. So it's that principle. Yes, Google has always said the fastest loading websites get preferential treatment. It's always said those with the most relatable content that serves the unique request of their customer, their visitor, will have preferential treatment. And it has always said that those who have endorsement and visibility on other platforms, i.e., call them backlinks.
Yeah.
So your social metasphere, right? Those are in your reviews, those are endorsements. So none of these things are technically that new, but the way you get there and the criteria for meeting content, load time, speed on Google versus AI, a little bit different. AI, that's
what's
changed.
crazy about AI, which someone else pointed out to me, which if you're not in this industry, you probably haven't thought about that. But like right now, you're fighting to be like the top 3 to 5, right, in Google, because we're all looking at the maps and the sponsored and whatever. But like AI isn't going to give you choices. Like that's the best part, right? It's like, here, go with this company, or like you mentioned, they're going to book it for you. There's not even a choice. There's not a game anymore. It's just one person's winning.
Yeah, that's I mean, right now, if you go to ChatGPT and you search find a HVAC company that specializes in ductless in Los Angeles, like go look for that. You're gonna see the search results come back. It's gonna come back with a map. There are 4 or 6, depending on the day, companies that show up. That is not Google Maps. Your reviews do not show. That is TomTom, which is under the Bing umbrella and environment. You're gonna see all of the companies that show up there, but one. Those are our clients. There are clients that may never have made it to page 1 of Google. They don't have enough money, they don't have enough time, and no one's going to slow down for them to catch up. So there's a new opportunity to get found on AI search. And there are no paid ads, and there is no
right now. There probably will be.
Well, so let's talk about that. Let's think through. Business owner hat. I'm creating a business plan. I have business plan A, which is a little on the old school side, that says my target audience are business owners only, and business owners who have the financial means to be able to pay a premium to get a lead.
Mhm.
And those business owners that pay the premium, which we're now into the like 10% of total business owners have the financial means to be able to do this.
Mhm.
But it's a small percentage that has the budget to be able to afford paid ads. And they're going to turn them on and turn them off based on capacity. So that's my business plan. Now, rightfully so, it produces a tremendous amount of revenue. Then you have the new version, kind of like taking somebody that says, I want to become a fitness trainer. And they're like,
Mhm.
well, I'm going to sell online videos. Okay. Or there's the young gun that says, I'm going to produce 1,000 online videos, put them on YouTube. I'm going to build a community and I'm going to get paid from YouTube. And I'm not going to sell my personal training.
Yeah.
Two different philosophies, same business, two
Mhm.
different ways of going to market. So in an AI environment, would you rather say that every user of a computer or a device is my customer, not businesses, but people are my client, and my model is monthly recurring subscriptions, MRR or ARR? I have a wider audience. They don't turn it on and turn it off. It's not based on capacity, and I'm not limiting myself to a smaller group. If the value is that people will pay the $25 to not be presented with the ads that they never liked in the first place, think through the consumer logic, right? Does a consumer, do you click on ads?
No.
I don't either. And
Yeah.
I'm a speaker. You ask the same question to every audience. How many of you click on the ads? Why does
Yeah.
only one Yahoo in the back corner say I click on it because it costs my competitor $40 every time I do
Right.
whatever?
Right.
Right. So if consumers don't want the ads,
Mhm.
and AI can say, well, for $25 a month, not only will we present the information, but I'll do the research. I'll book it for you. I'll add it to your calendar. I'll give you a follow-up. I'll write you a summary about it. I'll book your doctor's appointment. I'll book
Yeah.
your reservation.
The
Then
dentist appointment we've been putting off
dentist.
for 3 years.
Yes, girl.
See, I need this assistant in my life that knows what I need and does it for me. I will pay
And you
more
can
than
schedule it.
$25 a month for that. I would pay $100 a month for
Why
that.
would- Right? Because it's no longer Google search. It's your AI assistant that knows you need a mammogram every year and they
Yeah.
book it and it's on your calendar. You don't have to think about it.
Right,
So
right. Okay, I
why
get
would
it.
they
It's
put
like
ads
it
in there?
right, it's like all of the Roku, Netflix, YouTube, whatever, Disney that you pay. YouTube has a subscription
YouTube
with no
Red.
ad.
I don't pay ads. There's no way I'm going to watch ads. I'll pay the $9 a month to have no ads.
Yeah,
So
I
which
don't
is
do
the
that
better
on
business
YouTube.
model?
On YouTube, I'm like telling my kids, "You watch those ads." And you know what? They call everything ads now. You know, like we call well, me, I call it a commercial. Like on TV, it's a commercial.
Oh
My
no.
kids don't even know that
Oh yeah.
term.
Oh
They
yeah.
only use the term ads.
Oh yeah. It was hysterical during Christmas. We were sitting on my mom's houseboat and I had three generations, my mom and our kids who work in the business and
Yeah.
us. And she was like, oh, check out this recipe for some, I don't know, cranberry something or other Brussels sprouts. And
Yeah.
like she handed them this magazine and you could see them start to shake. They were like, no, I don't learn like that. I can't, you have to look through all these ads a recipe. Like, where's the video? You could see
That's
them
so
literally
funny.
freaking out about it. And I was like, oh man, this is awesome.
So interesting. So interesting.
They just wanted somebody in their kitchen with a camera
Yeah.
on TikTok showing them how to make this thing. And they would have paid attention. He would have made it
Right.
for her that night.
Yeah, so crazy. I remember that reminds me of when Pinterest came out and I was telling my grandma about it, like right when it came out. And I was like, it's so cool. Like you can find recipes and you pin them. And she's like, oh, it's like when you cut them out of a magazine. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. And actually, I'm pretty sure it was based off of that, but it had like never hit me until she said that. Like, you're right. But I still use
I
Pinterest.
love
That's
those
that's where I get
moments.
recipes. I know.
I
So
do. I love these moments. This is a big one.
yeah,
I
for
just don't
sure.
want to be sleepy and put my head in the sand and pretend like it's not already happening. I want to challenge myself and my team and those around me to prepare for what I believe is the inevitable. And I believe it will happen faster than anything we've ever seen.
I know.
I don't want to
That's
be
the crazy part. That's the part you really have to be on top of is that this isn't 10 years from now. Like this is like,
right now. Right
yeah,
now. If you go to Jen Spark and say, book me a table downtown Seattle, I want a view of the city. I need a table for 10. I've got 3 people coming with allergies. I got a vegan, no fish,
yeah,
whatever. I don't know. All those
yeah,
things, right? And it will call the restaurant. It will find the restaurant. It will call the restaurant, have a two-way conversation with them back and forth, answer any yeses and nos and whatever, add a high chair because you have a toddler coming, whatever. And it'll book the reservation, add it to your calendar, and send all of your guests a message. Like,
I'm so excited. What do we do with all of our extra time? That's really like some of this stuff is like busy work that I enjoy. And I'm like, I got to find some more hobbies.
well, you keep learning about how to better leverage AI,
Right. I know. AI will help me.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we talked about so much and that was a great note. I know one of the things that we said we wanted to talk about was focusing on digital transformation, but is that what you meant? Or was there something else that we need to be sure and discuss here?
I think we've given everybody enough information that
I know.
hopefully don't have too big of a headache. This
It's
might
so
be the
good.
one night after this podcast.
Yeah, no, I absolutely loved this. So, everybody who is on the Key to Growth podcast, there is one question that we ask at the end. And that question is, what is the key to growth?
I'm going to say mindset out of everything. Like, you can have all the tools in the world. You can have the best vendors. You can have the best strategy. You can have the best team. You can have the right everything. But if you don't get your stuff together up here, if you sit in a negative space, if you're too slow, if you process, if you apply too much energy to the wrong things that shouldn't get that much energy, there's just so much about mental strength and fortitude, mindset and capacity that all of these things can't fix.
Yeah.
So, I really do think it's got to be you. If you're sitting back saying, if this had you in a camp that said, I'm not touching AI, those are robots. They're going to come out of the sky and they're going to kill us all. Like, stop it. If they do, start saying please and thank you now. So at least when they come, you'll be prepared, but you're
For
not going
sure.
to be broke in the
They
meantime.
know you're the nice one.
Stop looking for the why not, stop making excuses. I consider them rocking chair syndrome. You're always busy being busy, but never going anywhere. There's a reason. That's probably you. Stop blaming everybody else. More accountability. It's like, I can contribute more. I can play a better role in the partnership. I need to be present. I tell my team, show up, suit up, and participate. Like, I need you to be here. Like, you got to be here. Don't stop multitasking.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's the one thing you can do, because the rest isn't going to help if you don't get that right. It's all just mumbo jumbo stuff.
For sure. So good. Okay, Jennifer, if people want to find you, tell us where they can find you, CI Web Group, Catalyst for the Trades, all of the things.
So, yep, online on all the social media stuff. So the easiest way to get in touch with me definitely is literally send me a text, 972-342-5933, because
Oh no, I laughed over your phone number.
it's okay, 972
We'll put it in the description.
5933. You have it in the description. Text, yes. Phone calls, because my phone blocks like everything if you're not in my contacts, or a direct message on any of the social media sites, or go directly to one of our websites. You can reach out, and I've got a whole crew of people that have bat phone access to me wherever I am.
Nice. Awesome. And then Jennifer also has a podcast, Catalyst for the Trades, and there will be an episode of her and I, which is completely different than this one. So really, they are two totally different conversations. So recommend that as well.
I feel like we could do this pretty regularly.
I know, right?
It's all new content every time.
For sure. Well, I thank you so much for your time today. This was awesome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, everyone.